Welcome to Coach Factory. This is the channel where we talk about how to build a coaching practice that supports you. Now, if you're a coach and you have not yet signed up for the VIP membership at coachfactory.co, that is 100% free, tons of resources that can help you run your coaching business. But today, I want to talk to you about the superpower that you have. The thing that will take your coaching practice from hoping that clients are going to show up to knowing that clients are going to show up, and they're going to show up because of you. They're not going to show up because you're a fitness coach or because you're a business coach or a finance coach or a mindset, whatever your niche is. That matters, but it doesn't matter more than one very important thing. You, your story, your life experience. Your superpower is the most painful thing that you've ever gone through in your life. The hardships that you've gone through, the things that brought you to your knees, the things that made you question whether or not you could ever get through it. There are other people out there in the world right now who are going through that. The thing that you survived, the thing that you overcame, the thing that made you find your strength, your power, your compassion, your conviction, the things that made you who you are. There are other people who are going through the process. They might be on day one, that day that brought you to your knees, that day that you thought was going to crush you. There's someone today who's going through that. And they need to know that they're not alone, that they can move through it. And they need the knowledge, the insights, the tips, the tricks. Let's talk an example. I'm just going to get personal. So 3.5 years ago, my husband had a stroke. Came out of nowhere. He thought that he was just sick. Throw the chicken away, he told me. I think there's something wrong with it. Who was I to doubt my very intelligent husband and his, at the moment, healthcare diagnosis out of nowhere? He sent himself to bed and we lost precious time. I had no idea that a stroke could present like that, and he was so adamant. It threw me into dealing with the healthcare system, and today there's probably someone out there whose family member is going through the same thing, and they're being thrown into the healthcare system. They're having to deal with doctors and nurses and insurance and medical procedures and all sorts of things. Things I never knew I had to research sitting with my computer on the floor of a hospital hallway. There's probably someone out there that I could help as a coach them through dealing with all of that. There are other people out there who are having issues with their health, issues with maybe putting on too much weight, or issues with, their favorite pants not zipping up. And it's painful. Maybe not as painful as sitting on a hospital floor, but it's still painful. Who am I to judge someone else's pain? They're probably having all sorts of thoughts going through their head. They're probably not sure even where to begin. And as a fitness coach, you've probably gone through something similar and solved that problem, and you know the way out. You know the path forward. You know that they can transform. That person needs you. They need your insight. They need your coaching. And they're willing to pay for it. They're willing to pay you to help them solve the problem where they're stuck and they don't see the way forward. But they're not just going to say, oh, I need a fitness coach. They need somebody who understands the pain. They need to understand that you understand. They need to know that you know the path forward. They need that connection. They need compassion, and they need insight. They need to know that you understand the scope of the problem and the solution. They need to see that you've solved the problem. And the only way that they're going to know that is if you tell your story. Your struggle is where they're at. So many coaches want to put on the perfect face. I go on Instagram, on TikTok, and I see them and they're like, here's my perfect life. How well do you resonate with that as a coach? It's not about having a perfect life. It's about solving a specific problem. Yes, your niche is important, but your struggle and your overcoming of that struggle is even more critically important. So how do you do this? How do you transform your greatest challenge into a coaching tool, into a way that brings people to your coaching practice? Well, you need to get clear. You need to reflect on your journey. You need to communicate about that, so you need to understand it. You need to understand all of the feelings that you went through, the feelings in your body, the thoughts that went through your head, the pictures you had in your mind. You need to understand all of this in order to adequately communicate this to your prospects. So you need to reflect on your journey, understand how you felt then. Don't want to cover it up and say, oh, well, I solved that problem, because they need to understand the struggle that you went through in order to understand who you are as a coach. And then you need to identify the universal themes. These are the hooks that connect your story to your clients' experiences. All of the stories, if you had a time where your pants wouldn't zip up all the way and you're a fitness coach, those stories are the hooks, because that's what they're going through. Your clients need to feel like, oh my gosh, this person is in my head. They know exactly what I'm thinking. They know exactly what I'm feeling. They got out, but they were there. They know the way. And they are going to sign up for your list. They're going to listen to more of what you have to say on social media. They're going to reach out and ask for one of those discovery calls. They're going to want to know more. Maybe they'll even buy one of those Tripwire products that you have available. Then you have to craft your story with purpose. You don't need to share every single detail, but the ones that serve your clients need to be in that story. You need to be able to talk about the challenge, talk about the struggle, talk about that turning point. When did you decide? What was it that made you decide to change, to transform? What gave you your breakthrough? Focus on those lessons that align with your coaching niche. Then you, of course, have to share all of that. You have to share it with your audiences, whether it's on social media, whether it's in a niche subreddit where people are asking questions about the problems that they have. You need to be able to do some live workshops, invite people to them, do some presentations, maybe locally at a meetup or an association that needs a speaker just like you. Your focus needs to be on how your journey equips you to help them. You need to have empathy. You need to have empathy because you were there. You know what it was like. You know what it was like to sit on the floor of a hospital hallway. You know what it was like to not have clothes in your closet that fit you, being at a party and feeling like you look terrible in the clothes that you're wearing. Whatever trigger it was for you, you need to have empathy for the prospective clients who are going through that now. And you need to model your resilience. Your clients aren't just looking for the intellectual understanding of how to solve the problem. They're looking for connection. They're looking for a role model. They're looking for someone to look up to. Your expertise, your resilience, your ability to remain strong in the face of challenges. This is what clients are looking for. They're not looking for your expert label. They are looking for you, your story, the story that no one else can tell, the story of your strength, your resilience, your breakthroughs, your transformation, who you really are. When you can tell that story effectively to the right audience, it's your superpower. It's what's going to attract clients to you, and it's what's going to change your coaching business. I hope all of this was helpful to you to think about who you are as a coach. If you need resources, Coach Factory is completely free. Just go to coachfactory.co, not com, .co, and we have tons of resources to help new and even experienced coaches take their coaching practice to the next level. Thanks for watching, and if this content helped you at all, we would love a comment down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.